Hello everyone and welcome to Cabin Fever Crochet with me, Helene here. I am so happy you could join me. Thanks so much for being here, really, truly. And I'm thrilled to be able to be outside and hang out for a few with you. So grab yourself a cup of coffee, cup of tea, whatever is your pleasure. We have a nice breeze. The air is much cooler today. Can actually see through the clouds some blue sky and differentiate between clouds and wildfire smoke. I have pictures before the fires and then kind of during the air quality, and then today, the improvement today, and then a little video when there was a fire that popped up on the other side of the lake in really rugged terrain, and then heading towards another town. And they have air tankers, and I tell you, they got right on it. So it's pretty interesting to me anyway, as far as that aspect, how they skim the water and they scoop it up and they utilize that from the lakes, which is great. And they got that out really pretty quickly. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and show you my finished object first, since that's on top. Happens to be a knit project, and if you don't knit, hopefully you still might find it interesting in the yarn that I use, and and you can appreciate the fiber arts, right? Whatever it is. I hope so anyway. I started this at the beginning of the year when it was still winter, and then February came along. I thought, it's going to start warming up here soon. I just didn't want to mess with it, so I tucked it away. And my mind has been so full of all other things. And then I have a couple of projects I'm working on in addition to designing the new tutorials. And this was just great because I'm relearning to knit again. And I like the knit stitch. And again, it just shows, and I've said this with crochet too, that you can just take a basic simple stitch as far as what you're making with it or making it into, along with the yarn, you can just get something fabulous. Simply fabulous, darling. And I like this because it creates like this. This is just knit. And I made a cowl, and it creates just a really nice stretchy material, fabric, minus the dog hairs. If you have pets, you're usually pretty careful about that. Can't help but they migrate. And if you keep going and you knit or you crochet with one in there, it actually weaves it into your piece. Have you ever done that? It's like, why didn't I just stop and take that extra second to pull it out? And now I have to try and pick it out. But anyway, this is just great. I'm so happy. Can't even tell where my join is other than the larger block of color here. And I went as far as I could go. Hey. I had everything together. Oh, man. Well, I guess I must have dropped it on the way out here. That's too bad. Well, I just had a little bit, just piece about maybe that long. That was all that was left. And it was the lighter gray color. And so I stopped because I probably could have gotten one or two more rows, but I stopped so that I could have the same color when I sewed the two together, so they would blend. And I don't even think this ridge here going across, that is where my join is. And I couldn't decide which I liked better. That's probably would be the wrong side. No, I like them both. Kind of like the other side. It'll blend. It'll be on the back of my neck. Love the colors. It's going to go great with a lot of what I wear. And I love cool and warm tones together. I really do. Sometimes it can just become a neutral. In fact, I'm going to put this on because it's not that cold, but it really is a little chilly and I want to model it for you. So I intentionally went wide and I just eyeballed it. I really didn't know how much I would get out of this, and I hoped that it would at least be enough I wouldn't be choking. It's one of Michael's in-house brands. It's their Loops and Threads Charisma yarn. And this is a number 5. It's kind of a chunky, bulky. It's considered a bulky. It takes an 8mm L hook, crochet hook, and a 9mm US 13 needles, which happen to be exactly what I have. These are just the stoppers I put on here when I was finished with it. In case you're wondering on my needles, love these so much. Even though I'm new getting back into knitting, I have a good sense of my tools and I'm rather particular about them and I know what I like and the feel. And so I might do a review on these sometime, but just to let you know, so this video isn't overly long. These are Brittany, and they, again, 9mm US 13 needle. Really enjoy these. So if you're curious, I can tell you about that why sometime. And it was this was just a pleasure to make because as I was saying that, you know, all these different things going on that I'm making and doing, and aside from life, all the other things, that it was just so nice and relaxing and satisfying to just knit in a chunkier weight. I could see the stitches, I could feel, I could actually work by feel too. I can't believe it. No, not a 1-0 zip mistakes in this. Yay! I had to congratulate myself on that. So happy. The first for me. So I can bring it low enough to have some chest warmth and have enough thickness and cush when I'm out walking and it is cold. I can bundle up to my neck, my ears, and even put it over my nose like a gaiter. You know, so I'm not breathing in that cold, dry, sharp air directly into my lungs. And all I had was 2 skeins, and that's what I used up. And that was pretty good for eyeballing it. I like the length. I didn't want anything too long on this one. Oh, and it's a 3.5 ounce, your typical 100 gram ball, and then, or skein with 109 yards, and it's 100% acrylic. I really enjoy this yarn. I've made other types of cowls and have sold them all when I did a craft show last year. I wanted to make something for myself, and I really like these colors a lot. So I think that's pretty much all on that one. And then, oh, this is exciting because it's a tutorial coming up, and then I'm going to do another stitch along, and then tell you how I did the blanket. So I'm not going to go into all the details now so much on that. And then I have to decide on my border. Kind of have an idea, a couple of things in mind. So this could be the stitch. You can do what you want with it, add your own border, whatever. You can make a variety of things with it. And the blanket can be like a cowl crochet along of sorts, because I am just about halfway through the body of it. So it's a big one. It is going to be a bedspread for a queen size bed. But I just wanted to show it to you because I'm really excited. I want to give you a little hint of what's to come. Look at that, I coordinate. I did it intentionally with this, but I like to try to wear something neutral, have a more neutral background, especially when I'm showing a lot of color, so it's not distracting for you. This was the beginning, really doesn't matter, except for the end when I finish the last row, that will be change up a little bit. This is an all Lion Brand Heartland yarn. I love this yarn. This is one of my top, if not favorites, if I had to pick one yarn for number 4 weight for early fall through early spring. Not in the summertime, but you know, for blanket, sweater, vest, hat, scarves, gloves, all those kinds of things. I just love this yarn. It is so soft. It can split a little bit once in a while, but not much, not a big deal at all, really hardly. I have to really twist. If you can see that when I twist, there we go. You can see the tree branch through it. It takes a bit to do that. This color is the Great Sand Dunes. And what's so neat, if you're not familiar with Heartland, if you're new to crochet, or if you live out of the United States, you don't have access to that. I love that it's named after national parks throughout the United States. And I've been to several, and there are others that I would love to go to, but it's very special. And I like that it is heather. They're heathered. Most of the colors are heathered. If not, they have a lot of highs and lows to them, and they're tonal. Anyway, I had one. This one here is Fjords, and I'm so sad that this was discontinued because it's just a beautiful periwinkle with a lot of depth to it. Love that color. But all the other ones are available, and some, like this one, I just had enough to do one section, while others, I have a lot more of it. So I'm real happy with that. Oh boy, it's going to be something else. Yeah, this is only the second blanket that I've made in 30 years. Whew, I started sweating the other night. The more this grows, the hotter it's going to be and the heavier, but it also pulls down, and that's what I love too about this yarn. It's soft, it's squishy, it has enough substance to it. It's not spun so too tightly either, so it gives a little bit of loftiness and that cush to it too, and it's really nice for being outside here right now. Okay. Well, I think that's all the chatting that I need to do for this afternoon. So I'm going to insert the pictures and that little clip. And now here are pics of the other lake that's really close by where I go, and that's the same willow tree where I sit, and you've seen me, and how crisp and clear and beautiful it usually is here. And then the exact same beach, you can see it on the left there, that's where I was, completely shrouded in absolutely hideous smoke the weekend of the 12th and 13th, which continued on for much of the following week. And that was from when the wind shifted and brought all the smoke from Washington State, where I am, plus Oregon and California, east into our area. And now this is up at the top here, how it normally looks. And then a week into the fire, same spot where it's actually starting to improve a little, and you can see just how heavy it still is. Here is down at the bottom on the porch where I often film. And here is a view of that lovely mountain behind us where you also often see me, completely obscured. And there we are, more than a week later, thinning out quite a bit. You can see the clouds, and hopefully all of the fires in all of the states will be 100% contained and extinguished very soon. And then the same mountain of how it typically looks here. The contrast sure is remarkable, isn't it? I feel just so much for the people that have been directly and dramatically affected, and all the wildlife. yet I know there is light at the end of the tunnel.